half Asian white male with, I guess, black hair, brown eyes, and I'm wearing a green shirt with a guy's face on it. And I go by he, him pronouns.
Yeah, so I am Nico, and I am a half Asian, half Caucasian female with green eyes and brown, black hair.
Yeah.
And what else? I'm wearing a red floral dress.
Is that red? It looks like kind of like a maroon, like a brown color.
Wow, maroon? What are you, like
a maroon? What am I, a maroon?
Anyway, and I go by pronouns he, him.
He, her. Wow.
Oh, no.
He, her. Good stuff right there. The first story that we're gonna react to is it's a pretty serious allegation. I mean, for some people, it's already controversial even just saying it's an allegation, because I don't know. So I guess we can kind of maybe there's
Let's
a little
do a backstory.
Yeah. So I'll go
All
ahead
right.
and share the screen and show what the talk
So
about.
Dave Portnoy.
Yeah.
He is the CEO of Barstool Sports.
Basically, like the head honcho of Barstool Sports. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what his title is, but he's like, the person in charge of Barstool Sports.
Mm-hmm.
So he has, there's a reporter who has an article out on Business Insider, which accuses him of some sexual assault allegations to two different women that he supposedly, I guess, hooked up with.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can't read the whole article because it's behind a paywall, which in itself is a little bit weird to me. I mean, yeah, I guess journalists have to get paid somehow, but like, I thought that it would, like, to me, I thought like for online publications, the main way they would get paid was through ad revenue.
Yeah, ad revenue, or I know some of them they'll pay just by the word. Like they'll pay how many words you put in an article to say it's like, I don't know, like 5 cents a word or whatever.
So anyway, it's behind a paywall. So I can't read the article on here or whatever, but basically they accuse him of some pretty horrible stuff. So what we're going to react to is his response, which he made a video response even though his lawyer told him not to.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll see what he says about this.
Well, he's not, I mean, I don't know a whole lot about him, but as far as I know, he's not someone who's going to shy away from telling you what he's thinking at that particular moment in time.
Yeah,
he's not one to shy away. Yeah,
he said that he always does, like, he just tells whatever he's thinking right now. So
yeah, and I mean, and he has that like love him or hate him type of label, because like in this Twitter, or the tweet of him with his response is 2 parts. You see some of the responses, and some of them are like, yeah, this guy's a pig, you know, Barstool sucks or whatever. It's one of those, I'm going to support you. Oh, I never even knew about this this thing or whatever. I don't know. So it's like, it's either people are going to support him or people are just like, see, told you he's a fucking scumbag or whatever.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So anyway, and I haven't even listened to this whole thing, so I guess it's going to be fresh for me at least.
Okay, so Business Insider finally published the hit piece that has been 8 months in the making on me. Not the normal hit piece, not the normal stuff about jokes we've made, videos we've made, things we've done at Barstool. This is far more serious allegations, portraying me, painting me really as a sexual deviant. Serious shit. So lawyers have been talking to me, boards, you should say this, you shouldn't say this, you should do that. Listen, I've ignored everything they said. I'm going to do what I always do. I'm just going to tell the truth. Shoot from.
It's almost like, why even have lawyers? Like lawyers tell you, don't do this, do this. He's like, I'm going to listen to these fuckers. Maybe it's just, I guess, what is it called? It's just par for the course when stuff like this happens. Like, it has to have lawyers, but then
he probably has lawyers telling him what to do, like with his business.
Right.
So they probably contacted him as soon as they saw this article drop.
Yeah. But then I'm sure once they saw this video, they're like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like,
probably, yeah.
Told you I was going to do it, so.
From the hip and tell exactly how I feel and where I'm at. No written statements, no pre-planned things, just me being me, and it's worked for me for 20 years, and I'm going to tell the truth. Let's start with the fact I'm not surprised this article came out. I didn't know what would be in it. But for 8 months, I've had every single girl that I've been remotely associated with, girls I know, girls I've hooked up with, girls I don't know, girls have posted TikToks of me, being like, hey, just heads up, there's a reporter digging around, basically asking about your sexual habits. Like, has he done anything like dirty with you? Does he try to get you to do this? All like making it sound like the story was already written, like they're trying to portray you a certain way. I have tons of girls who have documented that that was their conversation with the reporter. Most importantly, let's get into the 2 allegations that are jarring. And if I read them not knowing me, I'd be like, this guy belongs behind bars, basically. The first allegation basically is a girl who came to my house in Nantucket last July, like a year and a half ago, and is saying that we had sex. It was so rough. She was screaming, crying, pain, stop. She recalls. And then like 2 days later, reached out to her friend and said she felt like a sex doll during sex. Based on that description of the story, I would have absolutely zero idea who we're talking about. However, it said July, and there was a passage that said she slept on my couch after we hooked up. That part, the couch part, and knowing when it was, there's only one girl that I could ever recall who slept on the couch and not with me after we had talked for a month and a half. Online, and I liked her. I thought she was very attractive, pretty stunning, engaging girl. So that's why she came. But I do remember one girl sleeping on the couch. So I went, looked at her past DMs, and that part, there's a part that says she reached out, hey, pizza man. And I responded, hey, fly bitch. I would have never recognized that, a hey, fly bitch. Like, I don't say that. She was wearing a hey, fly bitch shirt or a fly bitch shirt when she first DM'd me, and that's how I responded. Whatever. So that's how I was able to figure out who the girl was, the couch part of it. I do believe, my recollection is she was still interested in hooking up. And I'm like, this just isn't working. Like, we don't get along.
Here, pause it there.
Flew back. I never.
So some people will say, okay, so they were talking for a month and a half and you couldn't tell if you were like compatible or not.
Yeah.
And that does make sense to me. But also I have to mention that when you're talking to someone online, it could be very different when you're meeting in person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because sometimes, I mean, I know you've had this experience where you meet someone in person and it's like totally not, like not working compared to what you thought it was going to be.
Yeah, because you can kind of project yourself in one way online or internet or whatever in terms of like that relationship. But then once you're in person, it's kind of like, well, everything's out in front. Here I am in the flesh. You know, here's all the mannerisms, all the little quirks that I do. And it could either be really annoying. Or, oh, yeah, I still find you attractive. I still find you like engaging and still have this bond or whatever. But yeah, it's definitely, it's kind of interesting how that kind of works because, you know, you think in your head, oh man, it's like, this is the one, I think, whatever that means, the one. And then you meet them and you go, and you hang out with them for a little while, and
you're like, wait a minute, this is like not what I thought. Because you can project what you want onto a person when they're online, but when you're in person with the person who you were talking to, it could be totally different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, so far, I mean, we're just kind of just going off of his words. So who knows? You know, obviously he's gonna say, oh, I'm telling the truth, but I mean, obviously we weren't there, so we don't know obviously what was going on. But yeah, okay, so just from what we were listening to so far, he's saying that she slept on the couch and I guess they were still kind of in a relationship for about a month and a half. And he was saying, I think we should stop. I think it was good for a while it lasted, but I think I'm okay. And she's like, well, I still want to be in this relationship.
Yeah, basically he's saying, well, they were talking online for a month and a half, but when they met in person, he was like, yeah, you're not the person I thought you were. But she still wanted to hook up, I guess.
Well, he said that they hooked up.
Yeah, but I mean, like, she wanted to keep hooking up after that.
So I guess in his eyes, like, well, I hooked up with you, and now I guess that's it. Like, now what are we gonna do? Like, you know,
classic hookup culture problems for women.
I mean, and for him, he was saying, well, like he was saying, you know, I thought she was very attractive, beautiful, engaging, whatever. And I guess maybe to him, that's all he saw in her was just how she was just really attractive to him.
I mean, if I'm going to guess, he probably didn't really like look too much into her personality when she was
oh, damn,
online.
she's a fucking 10.
But he was more like, I just want to have sex with her. And then after he had sex with her, he's like, well, actually, your personality actually sucks, so I don't really want to be with you.
But I mean, how would you?
Which is like really bad for women. Like that's why women should not be in hookup culture, because you basically just get used.
Yeah, and then that's why they'll say shit like this, like, oh, he, you know, I was screaming and he hurt me, and I was telling him no, but he wouldn't stop, whatever. And it's just.
Yeah, because we don't. It's one of those situations where it's like, unless they were being recorded, which would be super weird.
Yeah.
We have no idea what actually happened.
Yeah, I don't know. It's, and
this is another one of those stupid, he said, she said situations.
Yeah. And for like, you know, and I don't want to like, I know this will kind of like step on eggshells because this is a very touchy and sensitive subject, but there's legit women out there who had legit issues and had these really bad situations with men, and that they see stuff like this, and you know what are they supposed to do? Because that's why you see some people go, how are I? So why are you? It's like well, now you know why women don't come out and say this type of stuff, because they'll get these reactions of she's lying, she's she's a whore or whatever, and the guy will get away with it. But then there's the
other side too, where some guy will get accused of something that he actually like legitimately didn't do.
Right.
So.
Or it's like, what if it was something that he actually did do this, but then there's just no evidence to back it up, and she's like, well, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
It's just the nature of the situation. It sucks, you know. And I mean, what are they gonna do? Like, are they gonna like swab her vagina and say, okay, we'll see what happened? Or
a year and a half later.
Right.
That's incident number one. Incident number two, I had no idea about, which is basically a girl came over in Nantucket. She DM'd me. She asked to come over. She came over. We hung out by the pool, started hooking up, had sex, and then it says she went home, got super depressed. She took a selfie with me, got super depressed when the selfie circulated, and 3 days later was in the hospital with depression. The mother of this girl apparently called the Nantucket cops. I have never, ever been contacted by any authorities, nobody, nothing, ever, never hints, whispers, nothing, because I've never done anything that's remotely, not consensual. I haven't. So this story, total news to me. The mother saying there's parties in Nantucket. If you put like a police car, you'll see girls getting dropped off all the time. Totally false. I never have people at my house. Rarely. I hate people at my house. Gaz tries to have people I never want. I want to go to bed early. After we had sex in the afternoon, she went home. She DM'd me to come hang out with her at a bar at night. At a bar, by the way, is where she wanted to meet me the first time. So all this that's 21 plus. That's where she said, hey, I'm going to this bar, meet me here. To me, that's pretty black and white. That, again, it's such a strange area to be because it's a sensitive issue and these allegations are horrific. But they're saying she was so depressed by me, suicidal almost, but she was continually hitting me up to hang out. And it was the mother who found the DMs. Maybe she's a shit. I don't know. It's just, I'm telling you the truth.
So, I mean, I guess this is more normal nowadays, but so she was over 21, but she's living with her mom.
I mean, we don't really know how her situation came up to where she had to do that. I mean,
yeah,
some people are down on their luck and they kind of have no choice but to live with their parents again.
Yeah. I know. I understand. Some people are saying, well, he's 40 or whatever, and he's having sex with 20-year-olds or 21-year-olds or whatever. I can understand that, but this seems to be what rich old guys would do anyway.
Yeah, I mean.
So it's not surprising. I'm not saying that it's not weird. I'm just saying it's not surprising.
Right. I mean, and people were gonna act like, oh, this is like you're saying, it's surprising, whatever. Once you have all the money in the world, I mean, let's just face it. There's going to be women out there who are going to like you because of the fact that you're rich. I mean, I know you can't say that way. You think, that's the reality of the situation. And, if a guy out there who just makes it $50,000 a year and then all of a sudden it jumps to $500,000 to $1 million, their pool of women that they're looking at is probably going to increase by a lot. I'm thinking once they make all that money, again, not saying that this situation, like you're saying, isn't weird or anything like that. Like if you're a 40-year-old and you're having sex with a 21-year-old, that's kind of weird or whatever. But
yeah, because you would be 20 when they were born.
Yeah. I will also say this because I was kind of going through some of the replies, and some of them, one that I it wasn't like, it's not word for word, but the gist of it was, so if you know you have a target on your back because you're a Barstool Sports guy, you're kind of being in competition to ESPN, which is the biggest sports channel network thing right now in the world, and you're kind of chipping away at that. You know that there's people who don't like you because of how you're going about doing your business and your personality and all that stuff. Why are you trying to engage with these people to where this is going to be a possibility that this type of shit's going to happen? So I don't know, maybe all this, if say nothing happens to him, like all these like these 2 allegations, whatever, they've come out, and then the women just decide, okay, I don't want to deal with it anymore, just, something gets resolved or whatever. Is he going to learn from that? Like, well, shit, now I really gotta.
Well, if you keep listening to the video, he does kind of talk about that later. So.
Okay.
So basically, the gist of the rest of the video is that so he was saying that, like, okay, I'm a Barstool Sports guy, right? And I got all these lawyers, and I'm basically rich and powerful or whatever. But he's saying that he's still terrified because anyone could say whatever they want, and then, like, the court of public opinion is going to place you as guilty until proven innocent, instead of the other way around where you're innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
So he was just making the point that that's kind of terrifying. So, I mean, I get that. And it's kind of like a weird problem because you want actual victims to come out and say what happened to them so that it doesn't happen to other people, right? But then at the same time, there's no way to prove what actually happened because it's just his word against her word.
If this journalist or whatever has been doing all this digging for 8 months,
that's the weird part.
And this is like the only thing that you can come up with to try and do like a character assassination thing or whatever you want to call it, to try and bring this guy down. Like, I don't even know, why would anyone be like, yeah, I'm gonna bring that Dave Portnoy down? Like, who thinks they're gonna try and bring this guy down if this is all bullshit? And they go, I don't like Barstool. Okay, well then you don't have to subscribe to it. You don't have to listen to anything or any of the podcasts that it supports or anything like that. You don't have to follow Dave Portnoy's Twitter account or anything like that. So just, but again, again, like he's saying, oh, I'm swear to God, I'm telling the truth. Like, even just, I don't know, like you're saying, the court of public opinion, even him saying, I'm telling the truth, I swear I'm telling the truth. There's gonna be people who think he's, like you said, he's guilty. Like, you're done. It's over. Like, I don't even like you. But these people didn't like him anyway in the first place.
Yeah, and people who had no idea who he is, like, to me, saying that you're not guilty doesn't really hurt you or help you either way. Because of course you're going to say you're not guilty.
Right.
Why would you say you're guilty? It's
nothing too where, like, if he didn't say anything, like if he did listen to his lawyers and say, I'm not going to say anything. Some people are going to say, see, that's proof he's guilty because he's, oh my God, I got to do this, whatever. But then if he does say something, some people are going to say it makes him look worse. So it's kind of like,
whatever you do, it's going to look bad.
Right.
At that point, which kind of sucks because if it's not true, then, like, no matter what he does, it's going to look like he's guilty.
Yeah. And I don't know if he inherited this stuff, but as far as I think he probably he worked his ass to where he started to, because I think he made his company himself, or with at least with a couple of people or a group of people, I don't know. But he seems like someone who, they're at the bottom and now they're at the top, or at least they're making they have a really nice living. They're making a lot of money and have a target on their back, as we've been saying about this guy. So why try and put yourself in these situations to where, so like I was saying before, hopefully he won't do that, but who knows? Maybe someone's looking at this and they go, I got an actual story.
Anyway, I guess we'll move on to the next one, which is
this one to me doesn't.
This one is dumb.
I don't really get this one. Okay, so Chris Pratt, again, another guy who kind of has a target on his back because, again, doesn't toe that line of being. I mean, who knows? Maybe he is super liberal. I don't know.
So anyway, on Instagram, he posted a picture of his wife, right?
Yeah, it's. I think It's one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughters. I think it's Catherine, I believe.
Oh, really?
Catherine Schwarzenegger, yeah.
Didn't know that. Anyway, so he wrote this caption. Do you want to read it, or I'm not really good at reading stuff?
Yeah, I'll read it. So he says, guys, for real, guys, for real, look how she's looking at me. I mean, find you somebody that looks at you like that, you know? We met in church. She's met in church. That's already evil for some people. She's given me an amazing life, a gorgeous, healthy daughter. She chews so loudly that sometimes I put in my earbuds to drown it out, but that's love. She helps me with everything. In return, periodically, I open a jar of pickles. That's the trade. Her heart is pure and it belongs to me. My greatest treasure right next to my Ken Griffey Jr. Upper Deck rookie card, which if you know is saying a lot. It's her birthday in about 6 weeks, so if I don't get her anything, I'll tell her to look back on this post. Love you, honey. So that post in itself got people mad, but it was the part that really got people, I think, more upset than anything was he said, she's given me an amazing life, a gorgeous, healthy daughter, because he has a son with his ex-wife Anna Faris, and some people were saying, I can't believe he would say a gorgeous, healthy daughter because their son had like disabilities and I think was premature, had to be in a NICU for several weeks or whatever. So I can't believe he would say a gorgeous, healthy daughter. It's like, but the son doesn't have anything to do with her. Like she didn't give him.
Yeah, it would be weird if he were to mention his son in that post.
Right. If he was talking about Anna Faris, then it would make sense.
Yeah.
If
I don't understand people who think that this is like super weird, because I've seen people saying like he's been like, I don't know if you saw any of this stuff, but I saw people saying like, wow, he seems like an abuser. He probably like thinks that she's his property, all this other weird stuff. And I'm like, just from that, like you're projecting a lot. All he's saying, it's just an appreciation post. Like it's not that deep, you know? I mean, well, it's deep for him, like saying like that he loves her and everything. But I mean, it's not reading into his life saying that he's like an abuser or something. Just because probably, I mean, I guess maybe the part that says her heart is pure and it belongs to me. People think that that's weird.
Maybe he actually took her heart out and now it belongs to me. Like that would be like legit, like my property now. I own her heart.
Then she'd be like dead.
Well, yeah. but
then it would be really weird.
I don't even understand. Yeah, I think some people are looking way too much into it. I'm sure when, I don't know, maybe his ex-wife saw that and goes, oh, that's nice, you know. And I'm sure he's a good dad to his son. Like, what are they trying to say? Like, you're saying he doesn't, I'm sure he probably has his son. I don't know what their situation is or whatever, but
he probably just has a target on his back because he was seen wearing a shirt that had the, what's that flag?
Like don't tread on me or something.
Yeah, it had the don't tread on me flag on it. So ever since then, you know, he's probably like some crazy right winger or something.
Yeah.
I don't know how that turned into like right wing stuff, but.
So what's the next one going to be? His next post should be, my wife. She can open her own jars. I can open fucking.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Probably got mad because he said that he could open jars for her.
I mean, those jars are pretty tight. You know,
yeah, they
even
are.
sometimes for me, I'm like.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, if you can't open it, and nobody can.
Because I'm gonna throw in.
Screwed.
I'll throw it on the ground. I'll break, and there you go. Open the jar. Because it's all over the floor.
All right, I guess we'll move on to the next story.
Okay, so
we're just it's gonna keep getting weirder from here. Okay.
Great.
So the first one was kind of like more serious, and then it keeps getting stupider, and now it's gonna get more weird.
All right, so this first one is arrest warrant issued for teen accused of backflipping in rhino enclosure after he fails to wake up for court. Wait, so he backflipped into a rhino enclosure to not?
Yeah, and of course, like, this is in Singapore, okay?
Oh, man.
So you know how strict they are. Like, they're so strict that you can get, like, fined or arrested for chewing gum or having a durian on the train, right? So apparently,
durians are pretty stinky, so I don't blame them for that. It can stink up the whole place.
Yeah, apparently the gum thing is because people spit their gum out on the floor and then it gets stuck and then it's stuck on your shoe.
I mean, again, I can understand that because sometimes when that gum gets under your shoe, you want to like,
So are you saying that you're okay with authoritarian policies as long as
let's
they
do
benefit
it.
you?
Let's do it. Let's go.
I see how it is. Anyway, so yeah, it says a warrant of arrest has been issued for a teen who faces several charges, including trespassing into the Singapore Zoo rhino enclosure to perform a backflip, as well as killing a frog. Okay, that's the worst part. Why did they not lead with that? Huh? Killing a
Because they
frog?
want like, wait, he performed a backflip. Wait, well, hold on a second, and then they hit you with the killing the frog.
I like how they have that part highlighted. What, do they have a video of that or something?
I don't know, maybe.
Anyway, no,
yeah.
this gets dumber and dumber. So he failed to turn up for a court hearing on Friday, November 5th, and it says his parents were unable to wake him up.
Jeez, he must be a really deep sleeper or something.
I guess he just doesn't care.
That too. So you gotta go to court. Get off me, man. I'm trying to sleep. I had a really good dream. You broke it. Come on.
Okay, it says these were for trespassing into the white rhino enclosure at the zoo on December 17th, 2020, hitting the side mirrors of a Mercedes-Benz and a BMW in
Jeez.
October 2020, and hitting the information panel of a bus stop. Wait, you can get arrested for hitting the information panel of a bus stop?
Yeah, it said that he was 4 charges of mischief, criminal trespass, and vandalism.
Man.
So,
yeah, think twice if you're going to do something crazy in Singapore, because I feel like everything there is a crime.
he did a backflip in a rhino enclosure.
I like how there's a screenshot. Okay, there's a screenshot of him doing a backflip in the rhino enclosure, and the caption is, "Whose man is this?" Okay, so this part actually makes me mad. He was later given more charges for causing unnecessary pain and suffering to a live frog at the Sentosa Cove home on Christmas Eve 2020. The frog died after that's the guy's name, hit it with a ball
Wee
on a foosball table. Wee was also charged with consuming a what?
A cannabinol derivative.
Oh, like cannabis?
I think so.
This guy just sounds like a crazy maniac.
I'm gonna.
Okay, think about it. He killed a frog by putting it in a foosball table, one of those,
Yeah.
foosball table, and he hit it with the foosball thing, and then it died. Like, what the hell? This guy must be really bored.
He couldn't find an opponent to play foosball, so he thought, this will be a good opponent, and he put it in there, and boom, he won with one shot.
Yeah, by killing the opponent.
Well,
like literally killing the opponent.
Yeah, he really wanted to play foosball. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe don't do a backflip in a rhino enclosure or something. Because he's lucky the rhinos didn't see that. He didn't impale him with the rhino's big long horn or something.
Yeah.
Then stick him up his ass with a big long horn.
All right.
There's another animal-related story.
Oh, yeah.
Passengers left baffled after luggage is replaced by crates of frozen fish. Man.
And then there's a picture of frozen fish coming down the beltway.
Can you imagine that you have your luggage in the plane, and you're like, all right, I finally got to my destination. Maybe it's either home or it's you're visiting some people or whatever. And all right, I go to the conveyor belt to get my luggage, and out comes some random crates of fish. Like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, I was reading the article, and it said that they were like, okay, like it's just one crate of fish, whatever. I'll just wait for my luggage to come out, and then there's just kept more and more fish kept coming out, and everybody was like, wait, where's my luggage?
Oh, this is a good one. British Airways has since said it was reuniting customers with their bags after realizing something fishy was going on. Man, they just ran into that one, didn't they? That just writes itself. Like any type of fishy story, you gotta say something fishy was going on, so we gotta do something right, And then this guy, his family, got to the carousel and waited for the luggage to appear. It was at this point that the family's fortunes began to change. He said the luggage machine started going around, and the next thing there was one box of iced fish, and then another one came out, and then another one came out. He thought that the fish had initially belonged to one fish enthusiast. However, it was only when the number of crates totaled around 40 that he knew something wasn't right. It's like, who freaking loves who loves fish this much? I don't know. Maybe they're like.
Okay, I like how it says, so what happened to the luggage? British Airways has since said that reuniting its customers with their bags after realizing something fishy was going on.
In a statement, the airplane itself apologized. The airline apologized and said most passengers on the flight received their bags as normal. We've apologized to our customers and we have been reuniting them with their luggage after realizing that something fish. Oh, come on. How many times am I going to say that? Anyway. So what do you think about that? If we ever go on a trip and.
If that happens, I'm taking a couple crates of fish.
Yeah, you gotta prepare for the zombie apocalypse, right? The zombie apocalypse that will never happen.
No, I was thinking more like, depending on what type of fish it is, could be a good dinner.
Well, what kind of fish would it be for you to take it?
Maybe like salmon or haddock or something.
What about like?
Or cod.
Cod, yeah. What about like, was it mahi?
That's fine. As long as it's not tilapia, okay? Because tilapia, I don't even want to get into it.
You want to go into some controversial fish talk?
Yeah.
Tilapia sucks. Wait, what? How do you wait? Oh, everything you've been saying is okay, but that tilapia, are you saying you don't like tilapia? That's when you're really going to get canceled.
That would be a really stupid thing to get canceled for.
I knew there was something fishy about you guys. You didn't like tilapia.
All right. Well, I guess we'll end it there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. Maybe next time we'll react to something else that's not as heartbreaking.
Yeah.